Hello and welcome back. Miss Nix and I here just wanted to give you a quick update. Today we went to the zoo, Miss Nix. We took all 100 students and we broke them into groups of about 10 or so with chaperones. And how do you think it went?
I think it was great. I think the kids had a really good time. I think it was a really positive experience. They knew exactly what they had to do for their project, and so they were definitely working on that, but then they were also having fun and just enjoying exploring and being outdoors. And all I heard from kids all day was how great it was. I didn't hear any negatives, and I think they really got a lot out of it today. It was great.
The weather also was absolutely gorgeous outside, and we're really happy that we waited a week because that would have been a big rainstorm. But yeah, we were really impressed with everybody's behavior. You're always a little bit nervous when you take 112-year-olds somewhere in public, and yet everybody exceeded what we could have asked for. So thank you so much. Please ask your student about their trip to the zoo. A lot of them were taking pictures for their project and stuff like that. It was just a lot of fun. In terms of the project, and if you want to ask your student about it, we are currently studying human migration across the world. And so about 100,000 years ago, we know that humans left Africa, and they started slowly over thousands of years moving and populating the rest of the earth. And so the project that students are going to have to start working on in class starting tomorrow and throughout next week is students are going to have to be able to create their own infographic or map where students will be creating a map that contains the vegetation zones, the climate zones, also the general routes that humans followed in the years when they reached certain areas of the earth. And they'll have to take all that information along with the various animals that they saw along the way. And they've got to make one map about it. And today we went to the zoo because the zoo has, next to every animal exhibit, maps where these animals are native to in the earth. And we had the students taking notes and recording these maps and this information so that students can include it in their projects. So today was also a research assignment that they'll be then putting in for everything, and we'll start that next week. But if you want to ask your student, how's your project going? By all means, please ask them. They should hopefully by tomorrow have started working on that. This week, Miss Nix, we've been finishing up the Outsiders book. And what's coming up next week for us?
Well, we're going to probably finish The Outsiders next week, hopefully Monday or Tuesday. And after that, we'd really like to watch the movie of The Outsiders. So we've sent home a permission slip for you. And the movie is rated PG-13, although I would say there's not really much in the movie that's not in the book, which they've already read. And in the movie, we're going to ask them to do a couple things and just kind of analyze how it's a different experience watching the movie than it is to read the book. So all we ask is that if you're not okay with your student watching the movie, that you send in this permission slip with it signed, explaining to us that you do not want your child to participate, and then we will give them an alternate assignment. So, and then, too, I would encourage you, if you're worried about it at all, to just maybe get the movie and preview it yourself. It is in the public library. So you could definitely, or you could borrow my copy even if you'd like, and if you want to just kind of look it over yourself and make sure you feel comfortable with it ahead of time, that's always a great idea too, and just to kind of talk about anything you're not sure about with your student. But I think they'll really enjoy watching the movie, especially after reading the book, and so I think it's a really positive experience.
If anything, this movie was made back in like 1982, 83, and it has every major Hollywood star, at least of the 80s and 90s. You got Tom Cruise. You got Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid.
Rob
Lowe, Emilio Estevez. Is it Matt Dillon?
Yeah.
And Dirty Dancing himself, Patrick Swayze, Time of Your Life.
Yeah.
And I think Leif Garrett.
Yeah.
Leif Garrett with the 70s star is also in there. I was going to say Leif
Diane Lane.
I was going to say Leif Erikson, but he was a Viking.
Some great throwback people there.
Check it out, and we look forward to watching it with your students next week. And again, if you do not want your student to watch it, that is totally fine. We have an alternative assignment that we will set them up with so that they are making sure they're right with us. Final thing, Ms. Nix, this is the end or getting towards the end of week 6. In terms of longer term projects and grades that students might need to be reminded about at home, what should they be thinking about?
Well, as your students are aware, they have book letters that are due to me by the end of the quarter. So if they want an A on that particular grade in my class, they have to write 4 book letters to me. And so those book letters need to explain all about what the book is about, what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. It has to include a quote from the novel and explaining the importance of the quote. And then they need to take some time to kind of look over those, do some editing before they turn them in, hopefully. And then they want to get those in as soon as possible, because what I'll do is as soon as I get them in, within a couple of days, I have graded them and turned them back to them, and that gives them some feedback to let them know if they're on the right track, if they're doing the letters correctly, so that they can get the rest of theirs done without those, worries about whether they're kind of missing something. And so my fear is that some kids are going to wait until the very last week and try and turn all 4 book letters in, and then maybe they're not doing something correctly, or that's not what they thought they, had to do, and then they're not going to have time to redo them. So definitely at home asking, have you been reading? Have you turned in any book letters? Where are you at on those? Can you show me any progress you have on book letters? That would be great, because I would hate to see, someone miss out on a grade that I'm sure they could all do easily, if they just take the time to do it. So having conversations at home is helpful.
It's been a wonderful first 6 weeks. We really are enjoying this group of students. This group of students has been really polite and so far, for the most part, are following the expectations and rules that we ask for. We're really looking forward to just continuing the year with them. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us here at school. And thank you so much.